Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, a great way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, by leaving multiple comments, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. It does, of course, help with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The price of the cryptocurrency market right now looks a little strange. It's not just to me, it's probably to all of you as well. We got news that Bitcoin had I believe the second worst month of its entire existence. It says Bitcoin closes the month of May with minus 35% in monthly returns. It was a very odd month depending on where you looked. I saw a couple of people on Instagram also sending me messages about the Wyckoff chart. Oh yeah, I did see it. Thank you for sending it to me. I sent it to all my friends, and then we had a lengthy discussion as to exactly what is taking place in the market, even more so in that video that was going over. For those of you who haven't seen it, give it a look. You'll be able to find it. It has a couple 100,000 views. That's how you'll know you're on the right one. It's the Wyckoff, W-Y-C-O-F-F. I believe that is it. Where the guy basically shows that our chart is being moved around for whales by whales to basically get people into the market, flush them out, buy up the coins that were sold as prices went lower, make the price go back up to get these people back into the market, flush them out once again over and over and over. It is quite fascinating. I do not doubt that this is currently taking place, especially with all the positive news that we've been getting. I've assumed for a while, and if you've been here before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are bigger things at play than people could possibly begin to imagine. A lot of people, once again, don't understand the gravity of what it means to have the US dollar disappear and the possibility of Bitcoin taking its place and what people would do for the opportunity to be able to have more Bitcoin, especially as the prices are low. So, yeah, and that's after all the, amazing news that we were getting as well. I think some of that also ties into this a little bit, too. So anyway, it says Bitcoin closes the month down. There was very little Bitcoin price news. A lot of the other price news kind of revolved around mainly Cardano and Ethereum. I couldn't find anything else, even like XRP-esque news, which we're also going to get into in a second. It says Cardano price prediction. Cardano gains above 10% in the latest uptrend. That is not a price prediction. And I wish people would stop writing their articles this way, because that's not what a prediction is. A prediction is you saying what you predict the price is going to be. Cardano's up right now. The entire cryptocurrency market is up, at least at the time of me making this video. Everything's in green. Bitcoin is like I think it's up by 2 or 3 or 4%. But a lot of the other altcoins are pushing up very heavily, especially Cardano, especially XRP, especially Ethereum. And I think there's like a couple of other DeFi coins, but the DeFi coins are always up by 20-something% or other, depending on the actual day. It says Cardano bulls aim fresh rally to $2. I think this is definitely everything is trying to move back up. Bitcoin is still consolidating around the $35,000, $36,000, $37,000, $38,000 range. We've already, I think, passed by multiple other prices for other altcoins that had dipped before a couple of days ago. They've come back with a vengeance, if you will. It says Ethereum gains traction. Why Ethereum could soon retest $3,000. Ethereum is showing signs of fresh increase to $3,000. I'm pretty sure it's this month. We're supposed to have all of these upgrades. We've been reading and hearing about it's been months now. The amount of institutions who have been talking about and throwing their support behind Ethereum, saying it's the best thing in the entire world. I think we had the Goldman Sachs news is 5 or 6 days ago with them saying that they think that Ethereum could outpace Bitcoin and become the #1 coin. No one knows if these things are going to happen, but by golly, if the institutions don't actually believe this, because they keep repeating it over and over and over. When we do eventually get this upgrade, EIP 1559, and we do officially have a deflationary Ethereum, I'm terrified for the minds of people, because I'm pretty certain that a lot of people are going to try and sell the news, not really understanding what it means to have Ethereum being popular on its own, but then the coins actually burning themselves every single transaction. So we're going to get a lot of people who are going to try and anyway, And so the point is, prices are going up. Things look pretty good right now. We'll see exactly where the rest of the week takes us. There's always something that ends up happening. It's some type of news that ends up getting released, and we are then told that that's the reason for the actual price crash when we know that it's the actual whales who are releasing the news and then also subsequently trying to get other people to sell up so that they could buy more, because that's just how things work. It happens in every single place. I mean, it's not just crypto. I've seen a lot of frustration from people in the comment section saying, I don't like this market. It's super manipulated. Well, buddy, you're going to have a problem in every single market because it happens all over the place. I don't know. What was that? Like something on my head. Anyway, the point is, it happens in every single market. It happens in the real estate market. It happens in the gold market. It happens in stocks. It happens in bonds. It happens everywhere. Mutual funds, they get you to sell so that they can buy up more. They also short companies, and there are many ways to manipulate the market, and our market is now big enough that, they're definitely taking note. Anyway, that's all the price news, at least for right now. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, in really major news, that kind of, only thing I have three couple of tabs up here, because this was really all over the place, and I wish, to honest goodness, I wish it would just end already. It says Ripple has scored another win in its ongoing legal battle against the US SEC, as the court has denied the SEC access to Ripple's legal advice. Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn of the District Court of the Southern District of New York ruled on Sunday to deny the SEC's motion to compel Ripple to produce memos discussing XRP sales with the firm's lawyers. So what happened was that the SEC, for some reason, I don't know if these people are insane. And I don't mean that as a joke. I don't understand what's wrong with them. For those of you who are not aware, the SEC, the former head of the SEC, decided to launch a lawsuit against Ripple, the company, the day of him leaving office, not the day before, not the week after, not a month and a half after. Nope. He said, you've been doing something illegal, and I'm handing you these papers right now to send you to court, as opposed to 4 or 5 years ago when he already knew about the actual workings of Ripple. The last 2 or 3 months, the SEC has been trying to get the judge to get Ripple to hand over personal documents and all this other stuff. It's absolute nonsense. The entire idea is that the SEC is trying to, for some reason, prove that Ripple has been selling unregistered securities to the U.S. public for 5 years, and they've been damaging the U.S. retail market and all this other stuff. And it's if you knew that before, you would have launched a lawsuit against them in 2016, but you didn't, because the entire thing that the SEC is doing is completely fraudulent. It's just completely what it is. So the news being that all the documents that the SEC was asking for, the judge was like, no, why do you need these documents? That has nothing to do with the actual lawsuit that you're trying to prove that Ripple has been selling the U.S. public unregistered securities. And everyone's really excited because, logic. Thank you, judge, whoever you are. There was also news 3 days ago. I saw it popping up, but nothing has transpired since then, that basically Ripple is going to be settling with the SEC. I think this is just a complete rumor that's really just floating around because people are just assuming that this is the next logical step. If Ripple does settle with the SEC, then I think they have to pay a fine. It's usually around $15 million or something odd dollars. It's not a lot to them because they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They pay it, everyone moves on, and things kind of continue forward. So yeah, this is very popular news. I'm not sure it should be very popular because I think the entire lawsuit in general is just really stupid. I think the SEC is clinging desperately to straws, to hair, to hay, whatever people cling desperately to try and seem relevant. And then when this is finally over, we will probably, when this lawsuit is done, and when we finally get a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency ETF in the United States, we will never have to say the letters SEC ever again. Because, on top of that as well, the news has been floating around that Brad Garlinghouse, who is the CEO of Ripple, has announced, yes, we are going to be going public once this lawsuit with the SEC is done. He's mentioned that before a couple of years ago, which I also thought was kind of fascinating because I think we had news that Coinbase was going to go public. Ripple already announced that they planned on going public, but it was Ripple that got the lawsuit against them as they were planning to begin to start their IPO. Yes, his Ripple plans to go public after SEC lawsuit over XRP is resolved. Fascinating. Wonderful. I could have told you that before. Every single company in the cryptocurrency space is trying to go public. We know that. I think Kraken is also trying to do it. I'm pretty sure Binance somewhere in the wings. Binance is doing everything and then some. So I assume they're also trying to go public as well. So cool. Wonderful. I hope this ends very quick because I'm tired of... It's been like a 4-year nonstop conversation about Ripple, securities, and the SEC. I think no one explicitly cares. However, the price of XRP has risen based off of this news. I think it's a gentle mix of the fact that the SEC didn't get their documents, because why should they have received these documents? If you're trying to prove something, prove it. You don't need internal documents to prove something. And then on top of that, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, that they plan on going public. So this will probably lead us into the $10 XRP territory once the SEC... I'm going to try and say nice words once they resolve their little situation that they have going on. Anyway, that's the Ripple news. They plan on going public. Surprise, surprise. And I assume that's why we also had news before a couple of months ago about institutions acquiring XRP and all these other banks around the world who are also partnering with Ripple as well. Fantastico. Let's move on. Next up, Blockchain Insights platform Chainalysis has revealed that large investors purchased tens of thousands of Bitcoin as Bitcoin fell below $40,000. In the blockchain analysis firm's latest market intelligence report, Chainalysis disclosed that as some investors exited their positions at a loss, Bitcoin whales bought massive amounts of Bitcoin at the height of the crypto correction. I know my friend doesn't watch this channel, but regardless, we were discussing when he first got into the cryptocurrency markets yesterday. I mean, he's been in crypto for about a good 4 or 5 years, but we were reminiscing, I guess, if you will, over the situation when he first got into the market. And every single time that Bitcoin dropped by 4%, he would text me, should I sell? Am I selling? Is this it? Is the market done? And it kept on going on and on and on. And he messaged me yesterday. He was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I understand what you mean right now, because so many of his other friends who he's also gotten into the market this year, every time Bitcoin falls by 8%, they message him, selling? Am I selling? Right now. Price going down. Like constantly this really weird panic. But it's kind of this like everyone has to go through the tornado. I don't know what word to, some type of tropical event in the cryptocurrency space to be really battered to realize that these dips and drops don't really mean anything for the long term. Without having to read the entirety of the article, basically Chainalysis said exactly what Santiman said about a day or two ago, is that all the people who sold were the people who just got into the market. All of them. Like they completely panic sold, left all of their coins on the table, and nearly all those coins were purchased by the biggest whales. It's a 77,000 Bitcoin just last week were purchased by investor whales. It's going to continue happening over and over. The plan is to flush people out of the market. You don't really get what's going on. You don't understand the significance of what it means that Bitcoin could at some point. Remember the price prediction that we had? It was a couple days ago. Someone said by the year 2031, they're expecting for a $13.5 million Bitcoin. People are going to make sure that you leave the market. They're going to make sure that you get sick, you get annoyed, you get frustrated. Why are prices going down until you sell? For those, just for complete clarity, I have not sold anything. I know some people out there are wondering, not a gosh darn dime. I only accumulate. Every single coin that I have, I keep accumulating more and more and more every single day. I actually panic buy all the time. It's not like a FOMO kind of thing. It's more like I see prices dropping and I really try and reorganize my portfolios, and I go, how do I get more money into this market? That is not what's the word? Financial advice. It's just more of I have not sold. I have selling numbers in my head, which we're going to go over at some point in the future as well, because we're going to have to discuss that. But yeah, new people in the market get very scared very fast. They've been hearing for years how this is a very volatile market. They see prices go up by 84%. They buy into the market, prices drop by 15, 20%, and they completely lose their minds and they sell everything, usually at a loss. So anyway, Here's the actual article. Yeah, you can call it an article from Chainalysis and everything that we were just talking about. Kind of crazy. Absolutely insane, because it's going to continue happening even when we are done with this bull run, which I'm expecting it to be around September, October. If we follow 2017 graph charts and we fall down for, 2 or 3 years, consolidate, yada, 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 and begin to move back up, you all then will be the veterans. I know it sounds crazy. You will not be fazed by any type of drop. You're going to have a whole bunch of friends who are going to be asking you how to get into this market. Oh, expect this as well. This is definitely going to happen to you. A lot of your friends who are thinking about getting into the market right now, they're very insecure with themselves. And I don't mean this in a mean way. What's going to happen is, as the market continues to go up, as we reach new all-time highs, the people who are standing on the sidelines, they are not going to get into the market until the very last second. You're going to think they're insane. They're going to think that they're geniuses because they're getting into it and they made 5, 10, 15% over the course of a day. Prices are going to go down. They're going to panic. They're going to sell at a loss, what have you. Over the next 2 to 3 years, I'm telling you, I know this is because it's happened to me twice already. As prices are going back down, these friends are going to start making fun of you or throwing little quips as you're having conversations. The best one that I had many years ago was I was hanging out with friends. Bitcoin's price has fallen back down, and one of them goes, so how's that Bitcoin going? And the entire table laughed at me, because not only do they not do their own research, they have no idea about economics. They have no idea about inflation. They have no idea what's going on. Their entire idea of getting into Bitcoin was to make quick cash. They cashed out at a loss, so they made nothing. And the easiest way for them to feel better about themselves was to make fun of me and make fun of my other friends who were in the market. Can you guess the same exact people who were asking me as Bitcoin went back above $20,000, is Coinbase safe? Should I be using Kraken? Same exact people. So I'm telling you, get ready for it. People are going to make fun of you because you're still in the market. You're going to see the bigger picture as to where everything is going. They won't. They're going to miss out, and that's just kind of where things are. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there because I know somebody out there needed to hear that, because people like to make fun of other people when they think that they're in the right, and lo and behold, they're just going to be broke. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up. The adoption of crypto in the U.S. continues. Colorado Governor Jared Polis says he is eager to accommodate legislation for state tax payments via cryptocurrencies, as per a report on news outlet The Independent. He said, "I'd be thrilled to be the first state to let you pay your taxes in a variety of cryptos." He said this at at Consensus 2021's virtual conference on Tuesday. Announcing his next step will be talking to Mark Ferrandino, the executive director at Colorado's Department of Revenue. So I don't really have to read anymore. This is a very intelligent way to be able to accumulate cryptocurrencies. I have explicitly believed for a very long time governments around the world, especially within the United States, even, state legislature and governments, yada, yada, yada. I have a feeling they're accumulating crypto. Just a feeling that I'm getting something that is definitely happening. And one of the easiest way to do this is to be able to say, hey, you have taxes to pay because you made money on crypto, pay it directly in crypto. And that actually then increases the amount of cryptocurrencies that state has for themselves in their coffers or their treasure chest. You know what I'm trying to say. Why can I never find these very simple words when I'm trying to say things? I'm like, wait, I'm not, because I'm going to sit here for 15 minutes and try and think of this word and I'll never find it. So yeah, that's cool news, I guess. What's this one? Is this the same? Nope, also something different. This has happened, I think, about 5 or 6 different states so far within the United States. They're all allowing people to pay for their taxes in crypto, and it's smart. Because down the road, they'll be showing their balance sheets and they go, yeah, we actually got a lot in, 2019 and 20 and 21. I don't know how we did it. Anyway, that's that news. Let's move on. Next up, retail crypto payment acceptance in the U.S. continues to grow as Sheets. I've never heard of Sheets before. That is SHEETZ. Announces plans to allow the use of digital currencies in its outlets across the country. And there's a woman shopping happily with her friend who has no insides. She's walking around with the letter B. In a release issued on Thursday, The convenience store chain announced its partnership with digital assets provider or payments provider Flexa to enable customers to pay for products and services with cryptocurrencies. As part of the announcement, Sheets revealed that the crypto payment option was both in-store and was for both in-store items and gas pumps. Okay, there we go. At over 600 outlets across Pennsylvania, Ohio, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and West Virginia. Cryptocurrencies that will be accepted will be Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Doge. What a difference a year makes, man. Like, you would never have seen Doge announced anywhere as a payment option just a year and some change ago. So I've never myself been to a Sheets. I was going to ask if they sell sheets, but I honestly, I think it'd be a really weird joke because I feel like they might. What does Sheets sell? I assume they're just not a gas pump company. Anyway, if you live near a Sheets, you can spend your crypto there and maybe meet this woman. She also has no eyes. All right, this is getting really weird. Maybe he's leading her. No. Okay, all right. So go Sheets, yeah, for digital payments. Next up, New York-based investment management firm Van Eck is listing a cryptocurrency exchange-traded product on the Euronext stock exchange in Amsterdam and Paris today. Remember how I said before, in just complete logic, any company, any institution who really wanted to launch an ETF, an ETP, or an ETN would simply get up and do it somewhere else. So I'm pretty sure that Van Eck is trying to launch an ETF with the US SEC at this moment. What have you. Oh, happy June, everyone. Happy June to everyone out there. And as the US SEC continues to be special, of course, this is launching. I wonder what news that we're going to get, because there's also one of these in the next story as well. I wonder how well it's going to do. I assume extremely well. I don't know what the problem of the SEC is in allowing one of these to go through, because I think there are like 25 of these around the world now, and none of them are in the United States. So anyway, the point is, there's going to be a crypto ETP that's launching today in Amsterdam and Paris. And is it Ethereum? Yep. So cool. The rest of the world continues moving on, and everyone else or one country gets stuck in the mud because of the SEC. Anyway, that's that news. And let's move on. Next up, Globant, one of the big four tech firms in Argentina, has quietly made its first foray into the world of cryptocurrency investing, according to the latest filing with the SEC. The firm bought Bitcoin during the first 3 months of this year and is now part of a select number of LATAM. What? I assume it's like Latin American twerking and money unicorns that have taken the approach of putting some of its value into crypto assets. Globant, a software tech giant unicorn based in Argentina, has joined the select group of companies that are currently The company, founded in 2003, purchased $500,000 of Bitcoin during the first quarter of this year. A small sum for the company with a valuation of more than $6.5 billion that is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So this is another company that has come forward, or rather, I think we're obliged in some sort of way to announce that they actually purchased Bitcoin. It's evident that a lot of companies are getting into the space, and I think a lot of times it's really easy for them just to put like a huge chunk of money. $500,000 is not a small amount of money for anything, but to throw it into the crypto market, kind of just to see where things goes. What's this guy's name? It wasn't Novogratz. It was someone on a podcast about a day or two ago, and he was saying that all these companies are trying to allocate very small portions of their money into the cryptocurrency space to see exactly how high things go. He was talking about like allocation amounts. And he said most companies try to do I think a 1 to 3%. For individuals, it's like the strong 3%. And then he's saying, but now it looks like they're trying to move up to like a 5% allocation. He says he expects within the next 5 years, it's going to be a 50% allocation just into crypto because the value of crypto will have increased so dramatically that their balance sheets will have risen, yada, yada. But he says, as other companies see other companies doing well in the space, they'll start putting more and more money into the market. And, you know, the rest is kind of history. Okay. Anyway, so cool. Globant has purchased $500,000 worth of Bitcoin. Wonderful. Still don't know what LATAM is, but I'm sure I was correct in my assumption. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the Canadian Purpose Group Ether ETF has breached 50,000 Ether, worth $122 million in assets under management, even when the price of the second largest cryptocurrency registered a 50% decline. From the top of the market, the Ether ETF was launched by the firm on the 20th of April, and in just over a month, it has reached a major milestone, including high institutional demand for the second largest cryptocurrency. So these ETFs are launching all around the world. We're seeing a lot of Ether ETFs and ETNs and ETPs, that is exchange-traded notes and exchange-traded products. I'm not making up those letters. And I think this is, once again, indicative of just where the market is going to be going. I think while Bitcoin sleeps, is sluggish, continues moving sideways or up, down, sideways, whatever Bitcoin seems to be doing, I think we're going to see very crazy price movements in Ether sometime over the course of this month as we get closer to the actual upgrades. It says Ether's institutional demand has peaked this bull season, and some of the top financial giants, including the likes of JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, have heaped praises for the second largest digital asset and even claimed it has the potential to unseat Bitcoin as the store of value. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do see very great things for Ether happening in the future. Like, even just in general, we've had very crazy price predictions. I think the highest we've ever seen, it's not happening this run, so don't get your hopes up, was I think $135,000 Ether, but I think that's like 5-10 years somewhere down the line. But the news is that these ETFs usually are denominated and typically in the actual physical asset. So they're buying up, or institutions are giving them their Ether to put into this fund, and that's just more cryptocurrency that ends up going off the table that isn't available for anybody else to actually use. So yeah, I don't know how to end this segment. So if you ever hear me making weird noises, I just don't know how to move on. And I'm like, if I make weird noises, they'll be distracted by that long enough that I can click onto the other tab. And then, you know, everybody's happy because I don't know how to end most of these things. And to finish things off, in news that was popular news, but no one really was paying attention to the actual news. It says Iran has officially banned Bitcoin mining. In a recent statement, the country's president, Hassan Rouhani, says that the nation has been the victim of numerous blackouts over the past several months, and officials are claiming the extraction of new digital coins could be the cause. Thus, the government is not willing to take any chances and is setting a ban in place before things can potentially get any worse. This is one of the very few articles that actually had it in their title. It says it right here. They're banning it for 4 months. They say because there's too much energy being drained from their systems. I think they have terrible infrastructure. Not saying, and listen, and I'll be, once again, if you haven't been here before, I am as honest with you as apple pie. That's not a phrase, but you understand what I'm saying. The U.S. also has terrible infrastructure, so don't assume that I'm saying that because Iran has terrible infrastructure. No, most of the world has absolutely terrible infrastructure that is not going to make it over the next 20 years. The point being is that usually a lot of funds for countries usually get allocated to things that never actually go back to infrastructure or their citizens, and just happens to be one of those countries. So they have terrible infrastructure. Their electrical grid is not really up to par. Same exact thing in the U.S. If you've never seen a documentary on the U.S. entirety electrical grid, I'm not just talking about Texas. Look up documentaries on U.S. infrastructure. You are going to be terrified. I saw one. My goodness, I've watched a lot of them. There was one. This guy, he was in, oh gosh, where was it? Maryland or something like that. He was looking over this bridge, and the guy holding the camera, they were, discussing. They go, how do you do the infrastructure for America? And the guy was like, well, we take this marker and then we draw a circle around it. And the guy was like, you do what? He said, yeah, you see this hole? That's rust. And we draw the circle to see if next year the rust has continued to get to the bigger circle. And then at that point, we got to buy more metal and we got to weld it over. He's like, but you're not going to fix the entire bridge? No, we don't have the money for it. And I was like, oh, there are like 300 cars on that bridge right now. What do you mean you don't have the money to actually repair the bridge? You're waiting for the rotten hole to get larger so that you can weld some metal over it so that no one sees it. So like I said, it's not just Iran that has problems. They said that they're having tons of blackouts. It's affecting the country. They assume that it's cryptocurrency mining that's doing it. Sure, why not? But every other article just had Iran bans crypto mining. What happens is a huge portion of the population, they don't click on links. They look at the title, they panic, run to their friends and tell them, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Everyone loses their mind and starts selling their coins. This was one of the very few articles that actually had, they're banning it until September. They're trying to work on infrastructure in some sort of way. Funny that cryptocurrency infrastructure is more important than the actual country. And then in September, they will reevaluate to see if, they can use their crypto mining equipment without it affecting the actual country. So, yeah, this was another article that was floating around that got people scared because it's far easier to terrorize people and to make them fearful than actually giving them the correct news. Wait for it. Hold on. Always do this. I have so many lists on my phone and I'm always not on the right one. Anyway, that's that news. Let's move on. I feel really tired. I don't know why. I didn't get a lot of sleep. That'll do it. Anyway, as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, The Dealers Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wishnicki, The Letter M, Stephen Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grole, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones, Mining, Troy, Olga, Space Case, Nita, Miracle, Pattern Noster, Conan Doskip, Leg Day, Snacky, Chan, Tolik, Banana, Suspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman, High XRP, Martin Shoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, and Bibliophobia. Why are they only showing me the top 20? I say. See if I can upload that. Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Gray, Sigmore, Hermione, Massive Ventures in Thailand. There we go. Jared Schneider. Where am I? Okay. Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mann, Gialavori, Jem Garner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test, Everyday, and Calcium Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mox Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonista, All Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 36,176. Ethereum is up by 2.5%. Binance Coin is up by 3.7%. A lot of weird movement, and every other coin is following Bitcoin. It is fascinating to see is the word that I'm going to use. Cardano is at $1.68. XRP is at $1. It's been at, it was like $1.04 or 3 cents when I first woke up or something nonsensical like that. And yeah, so we'll see where the market takes us. It's kind of all over the place right now. Certain altcoins are in the red, but it's like a light red. I mean, who honestly knows? No one honestly knows where this market is going, like what exactly is going to happen. We know that accumulation is continuing at a rather rapid pace. We just have to wait for our prices to also show that. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.